That is a stunning piece of wood. I would have never thought in a million years that that would have ended up coming out. Don't even see it very well because it's so shiny, the light's reflecting off of it. But I took that bit. So this is the project. I'm calling it my prehistoric bowl, as you can see from the title. The reason being is because it's old, chunky and rough around the edges, just like me. So, sticky and horrible. So yes, yeah, nothing else to say really. It's failed. No good. So I'll see you guys next week. Fresh new project, one that works. And take care. Speak to you soon, and bye for now.
Looking like a thunderstorm, oh, here we go, go. You're easy to remember, so hard to forget. Baby, it's a coward way you strut. Oh, how could I not worship every inch your feet have touched? Baby, run away with me. You kill it lonely. You make my eyes unsee. All the crazy. You make my heart believe there's only one of you, baby. Run away with me. Don't leave me lonely. You make my eyes unsee. All the crazy. You make my heart believe. There's no more clouds on the freeway. Now tell me you'll stay. Gonna now last someday. Here we go. Rose bed, fancy hotels, girl, you know. Baby, run away with me. You kill it lonely. You make my eyes unsee. All crazy. You make my heart believe.
Good afternoon. How are we all? Hope you're all well. Hope you're all having a great day. Bit windy, bit fresh, but she's all right. It's cooler, so that's a bonus. So, thanks very much, everybody, for coming over and joining us for another Sunday Lunchtime Live. Hope you're all sitting comfortably, and I hope you're all here ready for Nick to rip the mick out of me, as always. So, as always, some awesome pieces from the hashtag week. Thank you very much for everybody who took part in the hashtag and took the time to send the pieces in to me. Very interesting pieces, as always, and they were very colourful, which is absolutely awesome. Some really cool pieces. That video will go live on YouTube tonight at 6:30, so the whole world can see your pieces. So make sure you keep an eye out for that, and when it does come out, share it if you can, and then even more people may come over and take part of the hashtag next month, which will be on the 6th, I think. Was it the 6th? Let me just check. So we are in July, no, August. That will be, the 6th of August of 6th of August will be the next hashtag week. So make sure you come over and join us for that. So back to today. I am going to be doing a two-parter today. I'm going to be doing some turning and some resin work. And then hopefully next month, or next week, sorry, not next month, next week we can get it in and get it finished.
And you'll all be more interested now. I'll be cutting carrots.
So I've got a piece of oak block board or oak worktop there that I'm going to use. It's going to be quite shallow. It's going to be more of a platter than a bowl. So I'm just going to basically turn that. And we don't know how it's going to turn out. So I didn't want to use a mega bit of wood, and it turned out rubbish. So we'll see how it finishes. I've got an idea how to do the underneath of the resin, so it looks a little bit more different than just seeing the wood for it. But whether that'll work or not, I'm not 100% sure. But we will find out. So I'm going to get over to the lathe and start turning that out, and Nick will welcome you all in.
Good afternoon, everybody. So, Wood Wizardry by Colin. We've got Ruby Claire. We've got Brian with a Y. We've got Doug Miller at Woodspun Around. Brian at Heartwood Turning. We've got Paul Finley Wood Turning at Home. Steve Hale. Ward Wilson. We also have Norman Greenwell. Pete from Twisted Trees. Chris Dodds. Derek Gibbs. He said it was a very good evening last Wednesday.
Of course it was, Derek. I was there. It's nice to see you, mate.
Todd at Glen Cove Woodworks. We've also got Robert Bortwood. I knew it'd do that.
Oh, helps if I turn the lathe on, don't it, really?
So, Andy the Valley Wood Turner, Sid's Repurposing. We've also got Woodwork Learner, said he sat inside with a jumper on.
Oh my god.
Wouldn't It Be Nice is on.
Hi Hugh, how you doing?
Lucy Bandiero. We've also got Christine and Michael Hesseltine. Benjamin's on. He'd love the intro music. Reminds me of the 80s TV cop show. Dr. Bob's on. Amy's on as well.
A little bit more off of there.
Wivey Woodshed's on as well. Might have said him. I can't remember. Jennifer's Craft Creations. Especially in this house, Andy.
Right, so that's round.
Right, I'll just. Oh.
Stand in the right place always helps.
Woodwork learner put yes, carrot chocolate with Steve in the background. Colin asks, does your new lathe have reverse?
Yes, it does.
Doug Miller's put hashtag flowers for Nikki.
I don't think I'll ever use it, but it does.
So we've got, looks like they're supposed to say Kelsey Crafts. Not sure if that's right, but let me know.
Hi, Kelsey.
Welcome. Martin Boyd is on as well.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody is well. So we are round and we are flat. So what we need to do now is we need to find our centre. And I'm going to put a mortise in the bottom of this.
Colin Izzard's on as well. He didn't ask me if I'd finished. Very rude.
That's all right.
I'm used to it. Michael McEwen's on as well. I think, or William Kenny's on as well. I think I've got everybody. If I haven't, please put something in the comment. Oh, Roy the Boy's on as well.
Hi, Roy.
Oh, and we've got Olivia as well as watching.
Hi, Olivia.
Brian with a Y said he tried his first attempt at resin inlay recently with a white resin backing, plasticine lettering and clear resin top layer. Very pleased with the result. Good,
Cool.
glad to hear it.
Move that out of the way.
Pete said, did you have to cut through the floor to the concrete?
No, not yet, Pete. It seems to be quite stable at the moment, but I'm still toying with the idea, mate.
Cornish Mode 1982's on as well.
Okay.
So Kelsey Craft is actually Vicky.
Oh, hello, Vicky.
There we go. Try and remember that.
Right, so we'll just clean that out with a bowl gouge. So we're just going to get a skew and clean that up inside there. So we have a nice flat bottom.
Doug said you need to change camera.
I've just done it. So put a little tiny dovetail on the inside of that, just so our jaws grab it a little bit better. We're just going to put a little mark in there, and that's going to be where our foot is started. So now we can start getting rid of some of this waste material.
We have plenty of that.
What?
Waste.
So I want this about 10mm thick on the wall. Or I want the bowl or the platter about 10mm thick. The reason being is I want to insert quite deep. So it's going to be a gradual curve on this. It's a little bit high, that. Just going to move a tool rest. Move the shavings out of the way so we're not standing on them. So I'm keeping my body in line with my piece, so I can look down the piece and I can look down this side while I'm turning away, so I can see the ideal shape that I want.
Andy's got to go because he's got to make some bowls for his teachers. Not his teachers, Gideon's teachers, sorry.
So I'm just going to stop that and have a look. Because it's block board, you sometimes get some holes in the joints. Oh, nice inclusion in there. So you just want to keep an eye on these, because sometimes you get, where they've been glued together, you sometimes get gaps in them. So I don't think I'm going to go much more of a...
Oh!
Just have a look at that, see what shape we've got. So as you can see by the overhead, just got a gentle curve on there. I might bring a little bit more up, release some of this a little bit. I'd like it so it casts a shadow over the table, so I don't want a massive gap between here and the base, but we'll just take a little bit more off of there. So from about here, just take a little bit out of there. Right, so we've got that. That's a bit better. So we've got a nice inclusion in there, which you can't see, or you can see it. So we've got a nice bit of inclusion coming there, so I'd like to keep that. So I think that is about as far as I'm going to go with that, because I'd like most of the other shape to be on the top. So what we'll do is we'll get that sanded up, and I'm just going to oil this on the bottom. I'm not going to wax it, I'm just going to oil it. Use some Hampshire Sheen citrus oil on it.
Why are you using citrus oil?
Because I like the smell. We're just going to sand this up.
Do you know, I try and ask a sensible question.
I do, I like the smell. So if anybody's in the Kettering area or lives in the Kettering area, Thursday evening I will be at the Isle of Neen. Is it Isle of Neen? Isle of Neen Wood Turning
I don't know,
Club.
you hadn't told me.
Demonstrating. So if anybody's about, pop in, say hello.
You may be joined by someone, mightn't you?
I doubt it.
Oh, I'll come with you. It's going to cost you, though. I don't come cheap.
So just sand that centre up. Now I've done that mortise a bit deeper than what I would normally do, but because it's block board, I like to make sure I've got a good secure fixing on there. Just going to check it, make sure I've got all the marks out of it before we move up to the next grits.
Todd's put hashtag flowers for Nikki. Amy's put hashtag holiday for Nikki.
What about me? Can't I go?
3 days and I break up. Steve's already trying to give me a list of jobs to do. Thank you, mate.
Oh, you got 6 weeks off.
I haven't though, have I? Bob P is on.
Who?
Bob P.
Oh.
So it says Bob P.
Welcome, Bob
He's
P.
he's in Alexandra, Virginia.
Oh, welcome, Bob.
I'll do that as well, Pete. Don't worry about that.
What's that?
He said breaking up is as much better than breaking down. Steve can't afford flowers for Nikki. Spent it all on the lathe. Yeah. That's our holiday fund. Get the violins out.
Yeah, but this is more enjoyable than a holiday.
Yeah, for you. Mind you, it is me as well because it means you're at the house.
Yeah, see? No, we did say we weren't going to have a holiday.
Yeah, we said we was going to get some jobs done. Get the garden sorted, and we've got a shed that needs refelting. Not refelting, what's that stuff called?
Rubber.
Rubbering, yeah. Ready for the winter.
Right, so we're going to
So,
sand this.
I've got a question. Quickly, Woodward's Collins said, on a bandsaw, what is the ideal blade width and TPI for wooden resin?
I use, I don't cut shapes out of with my bandsaw, so I use a 1/2 inch blade with 6 TPI. If you cut them round shapes, you want a 1/4 blade really, or an 1/8.
Oh, great cheer. I forgot what the headset on. Woodward Learner said camping at the bottom of the garden could be a holiday.
Right, so 320 grit.
Yeah, we just want a few jobs done around the house, which we just said we'd rather get done. I did want to do the garden, but if we're not going to get any nice weather, it seems a bit pointless. But it needs doing, doesn't it?
It does.
Thing was, it was nice to have a big garden when the kids were little. Now they're grown up. It's not so nice because we don't really need it. Thing is, we've got a nice base of hardcore, haven't we? When we had our pool.
Yep.
And we want to make the most of having that down. So.
Ooh, just do that a little bit there.
There's always something.
You what?
Said there's always something, isn't there, mate?
Oh yes, always something.
Trying to get the office sorted as well. So when I am at home, I'm not having to hear Titch working. As much as I love hearing her. Oh, I've got someone else. Greenhaven Creations. They've been on before, haven't they?
Good evening or afternoon even.
Evening. Pete put that can't be done, Andy. If my nice comfortable bed is in walking distance, I'm not sleeping in a tent.
Alright, so that's sounded up to 400 grit.
Pete said you all heard what Nikki said. Massive new workshop for Steve. I think his workshop's big enough, Pete, don't you?
No, never big enough.
We did discuss a
Clean room.
clean room, yeah. Cornish Maid's got a dash.
See you
I'll
later,
catch up
Katie.
later. Have a great Sunday, everyone.
Thanks, Katie, for coming over. Nice to see you. I do have a swig of my coffee. Right, so let's get some.
Lucy said they've got a field of an acre at the top of their garden that's theirs. Oh my goodness. Get a hot tub. No, that don't appeal to us really, does it?
No, not really. Sitting in your own bacteria.
Ben put perhaps you need to fill the space with some chickens and perhaps a goat. Nah. Sid's got to go. He said he'll catch later.
See you later, Sid.
Where's Terry today?
He's having a family barbecue.
Pete's put no, Steve's workshop is exactly a third of the size he needs. Universal law.
Just clean this up because you should wipe the lids really when you put these back on, but obviously I didn't on this one, so it's all gammy. So Hampshire Sheen citrus burnishing oil, just to give it that nice aroma. And as it says, it is a burnishing oil, so it's never going to be shiny. Oh, excuse me. It'll always have a matte finish to it. But the best thing about this oil is it smells absolutely lovely. Beautiful, as they say.
Beautiful. Come on, could you Norfolk beautiful?
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
And the idea is to put a coat on, leave it a few minutes, burnish it off, then put
Keeps
a
it
second
nice
coat on,
and warm if you put a coat on it.
burnish it off, and then give it a second coat.
Not impressed, are you?
No. Trying to give people helpful information.
I can smell that in here. It's nice.
So we're going to give that the first coat. Going to leave it a few seconds just to evaporate. We're going to give it a second coat, and then we're just going to burnish it off. While I'm waiting for that, I'll just clean my glasses so I can see, get rid of the dust off of them. Oh, that's much better.
Yeah, it's bad enough with the dog, isn't it? Woodward Leonard said the space will seem small when the grandkids come along. I think we've got a few years yet.
I'm hoping so. Not old enough to have grandkids yet. So, might wash that lid in some meths. Let's just stand that over there out of the way for now. So what we want to do now is just get another bit of tissue, and we're going to burnish that. What's going on with that camera? It's a funny colour.
Seems quite dark.
It does seem dark, doesn't it? Let's move that out
I
of the way
didn't like
so
to
that-
say because I get told off
Move that out of the way, see if that makes any difference.
if I comment.
Let's just alter that a little bit then. While we're waiting for that burnishing oil to burnish off, or flash off, shall I say. So let's just bring the contrast up a little bit. There you go, that's a bit better. Right, so just going to burnish it off. So clean tissue, bit of speed. And what we were doing really is just taking off the excess oil.
Is that food safe? That one.
Yep. So we've got all the excess oil off, so we're just going to speed up a little bit more. And now we're just going to burnish it. Like I say, you won't get a shine on it, but you'll get a little bit of a sheen on it. So there we go. Let's just blow it out of the inclusion. Like so. So that's the burnishing oil. That smells lovely, lovely. Right, so we're going to flip it, flatten the front off.
Jubbly.
Smells lovely. It does, absolutely lovely.
Beautiful.
Smells lovely. So spin it. Just nip it up, not too tight, just enough to hold it.
Derek Gibbs said, "How are you set for next weekend?" He's got 2 grandchildren we can have.
That's all right, not a problem. You keep them, mate. You enjoy them. Build those memories up.
Steve, don't take well to children, other people's children.
They're overrated. They're overrated. I'm sure I'll be fine when I've got my own grandkids. I'm just not ready for grandkids yet. Right, so I'm going to just sharpen this gouge up so we've got a nice sharp gouge.
Your daughter's isn't ready for kids either.
That's what I like to hear. Girls from your own heart. You can tell they're mine.
They're so alike you, it's unbelievable. Just
Well, what can I say about that?
unsociable and
they're perfect, aren't they? If they're like me. Oh,
yeah, right. Yorkshire gets on.
Hi, Glyneth. How the devil are you? Hope you're well, sir.
You drink your coffee.
Yeah, just finished, I think. So nice sharp gouge for the front. Oh, is that going rusty? I mean, that's going rusty. Yeah. So.
Amy said you've done your work. Olivia's asleep.
Good. Checks in the post. Or the bill's in the post, I say. Right, so let's just flatten this front off. Because she's a little bit wobbly.
Pete said if he'd known how great grandchildren were, he would have had them first.
Yeah. Yeah, you can hand them back. Right, so that's flat on the front. Wrong button. Always helps if you press the off button and not the speed control, the variable speed knob. So we've got a few inclusions there. We've got one there, one there. Some of them is going to be turned out. So I'm going to flatten this off. So it's flat on the front. I don't even need to worry about for between there and there, because I'm going to be using that bit there as the resin. The rest of it is actually going to be turned out as a platter. So I think that'll do. We'll just put some tram lines in there.
Platter for what?
Don't know yet. I ain't thought that far ahead. I'm winging this, mate.
Nothing new there then, mate.
So we use a parting tool just to put a couple of tram lines in. I'm going to keep it about 3 or 4 mil away from the edge.
Terry Bartlett's on.
Who?
Terry Bartlett.
Right, Terry, how are you? So we're going about 5 mil deep. That's about there, I reckon. Bit of speed helps.
Smells nice.
Say again.
Smells nice.
Yes, to burn them. Alright, so we're just gonna take this bit out of here with the bowl gouge.
Not eating it again, are you?
I'll give my glasses.
Well, anything could happen. Need some window wipers on them.
Hmm. I'm just going to get a skew in there and clean that edge up. Make it nice and flat.
Dr. Bob said the constant humidity is killing his dried wood, because all his dried wood is absorbing the moisture. And his dehumidifier can't keep up the humidity.
Right, so we've got our inlay, or our piece for our inlay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sand all that and sand and seal it, and then I want to paint that. See, that camera's really bright now.
Yeah, that was really done. That's very
What on
bright.
earth's going on with that camera? Jeez. So what was that?
It's not the camera's operator error.
It's not the operator, is it? The operator don't keep changing the cameras.
That's the witch.
The witch.
Ben's favourite witch.
Right, so let's get that sanded up. We will use some
Because
Abra
Ben said he was going to ditch your live to go shopping, so he didn't miss Emma's. So rude.
Oh, just so. Right, so we're just going to quickly sand this up to 400. Just using Abranet to sand this up. I'm actually sanding it a bit quicker than what I should do, really. But sending a quick rub over.
Spirit, wind, wood, stone and bones on.
Hi Heather, how are you?
I just got to get this.
Alright, so I sand up the 400 grit. So we're going to sand and seal that. So I'm going to get a brush Sand and seal that. Oh, actually, do I sand and seal it? No. Or do I? Yeah, because if I don't sand and seal it now, I've got to do it afterwards. So we'll sand and seal that. So we'll get a little tub and put some sand and sealer in. Bring my modern art back. Right, so we're just going to give us a coat of sand and sealer. Make sure it's a good.
Copper our wood turners on.
You just did. So we're going to make sure we give it a good coat of sand and sealer, because we don't want the resin to penetrate too far into the wood and cause loads of air bubbles.
Brian with the Wire's got a question. Do you undercut the edges of the recess for inlay, or does the resin hold on the edges?
I don't undercut it. The reason being is I don't want it to trap air. If I undercut it, the actual thing could trap air in there when I pour the resin. So I try and keep it as square as possible. So we'll just go over that edge a little bit. So if we get a little bit of resin over there, that seals it. Don't get no air bubbles transferring. And we'll just do this edge here a little bit as well, for the same reason. So I'm just going to let that flash off. I'll have a swig of my drink. It's very warm in there today.
I'll just turn this fan off.
Right, so we're just going to let that dry. It's nearly dry. We'll just spin up and let it dry properly.
Oh dear.
So we'll just de-nib that. Ready for our colour. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a black base coat, which I think I'm going to use. I don't want to use an aerosol. I'll use gesso, I think, for that. So we'll use a bit of gesso to blacken that out. So another brush. That one I'll do. So I don't want to get it on this wall here, or
Do you
do I?
need some water?
Yeah, we'll do, please.
Water?
Oh, every time that comes out.
Oh, cups are stuck.
Wipe that off my hands, if not I'll get it over the back. Right, so I actually am going to do this edge here and this edge here, because if not, when I come to paint it, it won't look right. So this is just black gesso, making sure we get a good coverage on it, making sure we spread it out well. We don't want to leave it thick in places so it takes longer to dry. Making sure we push it right into the grain as well of our wood.
Terry B's off. He's got to go and see his granddaughter, who's 2 today.
Oh, see you later, Terry. Thanks for coming over.
Roy said, what colour resin?
It will be clear, Roy. It will be clear. All will be revealed.
Amy said, can you put sparkles on the resin?
Sparkles. I could do, but I'm not going to. Because
Spoil sport.
I don't think that'll suit what I'm doing.
Spoil sport, isn't it, Amy?
Right, so just going to let that dry. I mean, we have to give that a second coat because trouble is when you sand and seal it, you're stopping the paint soaking into the timber. Therefore, when you wipe it on, you can sometimes wipe it off again. So we're going to let that dry a little bit, and we might have to give it a second coat, but we'll see how that comes out. Just get the hot air gun on it, dry it a little bit better.
Mark S is on.
Hi, Mark. How you doing?
Wouldn't it be nice he's got to go? He's cooking Sunday lunch.
See you later, Hugh. Thanks for coming over.
That's now made me fancy roast dinner. Well, you did say Sunday lunch. You didn't say Sunday roast, did he?
Alright, so let's have a look at that. Make sure we hit all the spots.
What did you think of doing the lasagna, Lucy? Steve ain't overly keen. He does eat it. That's the only choice he's got.
So I think we've got all the spots we need to get. So I think we'll call that it. Wash my brush. Just going to finish drying it off.
Dr. Bob said it's unusually high humidity in your shop's causing problems. His dehumidifier runs 24/7. His wood's absorbing it and tools are rusting. He spent last week oiling his tools.
Right, so that's the black. What I need to do is I need to mask and tape up this edge because I don't want the spray paint passing over this edge. Even though we're going to take some of that edge off there, I still want to make sure I don't get paint on it because it's not been sealed, so it will absorb into there and could cause issues. So we're just going to mask it up to make sure it doesn't. So we're going to take this out the chuck.
Pete said, talking of Sunday lunch, what veg should he have with his duck?
We're going to lay that on the bench flat. Now what that does is the tape is going to stop any overspray. Well, you can't see, can you? The tape, I focus this in for you. Got gloves on so the camera's not working. Right, so what will happen is the tape will stop any overspray going over and underneath. Hopefully, he says. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover my lathe up so I don't get paint all over my lathe.
Make the most of it, Lucy. The older they get, I think the fussier they get. That's just Steve.
So what I'm going to use on this is I'm going to use crackle effect paint.
That's why I'm not using sparkles.
And I'm going to use the green. This is, what colour is this? What's that say, Nicola?
Oh, let's have a look. It says patina.
Patina green. So this is the colour I'm using. Make it give it a good shake because it ain't been used for 2 years. Get rid of all the dust off the board as well, because if not that'll end up going on our piece. I'm just going to, actually I'll brush myself off because it's all coming off of me. Coming off my smock.
At least I always do a deconstructed toad in the hole because I can never get the sausages to cook right.
And that makes all the batter mix fatty if you're not careful.
Yeah, and we have good sausages as well.
Right, so what I'm going to do is this crackle
Wesley
effect.
Hannah's on.
If you haven't used this before, hi Wesley, if you haven't used this before, this crackle paint, you put a base coat on.
There's one on this on here, look.
So?
Show him this. On there, look.
So this is the crackle effect paint. I don't know if you'll see this very well. This is the crackle effect paint. So what it does is when you put your base coat on, which was pink on that one, and then you spray black, which that was over that, and it naturally crackles. So I've done several.
Poppy.
I've done several.
Snap.
I've done several platters and that with this stuff, and I always get some good results. So I thought, if I do this as a base, then I keep getting dusty all in there.
Keep getting interrupted. Don't you get black on that?
I ain't got black. I think I'm using green. That'd be
Don't
green.
get green on it. I like the colour it is.
Right, so what we want to do is do some nice, brisk, thick coats all in one go because you don't want to be going over it twice. You only want to be going over it once. So
Ian Leach is on.
hi Ian.
Ian Leach said, my years in Yorkshire have taught me the recipe pretty well.
Right.
I can do wicked Yorkshires. Cook the sausages nice, but just put them together and...
So as that dries, that should start to crackle. But I've never ever put it over gesso before. So how that'll work, I do not know. But we'll soon know.
So what you're saying is it could be an epic fail.
Well, I might not crackle over gesso. I've never used it over gesso before.
Trial and error, mate.
I normally put it over the top of a cellulose paint,
But
but I thought I'd try gesso for a change.
why is it called gesso? Just to make
Because
it
it's just
or...
black paint. No, it's just black paint that painters use to do their canvases with. It's not doing a lot. Maybe it don't work over gesso. If not, we'll have to spray it with ebonizer and lacquer and do it over that.
Thought it took a while to work.
No, it's normally starting to crack by now.
Can't stink.
I've got the extractor on.
Could the paint be off? Just a question.
No, paint's not. I think it might be because it's over a water-based paint rather than a spirit-based paint.
Benjamin said I use a recipe from Aunt Bessie's for Yorkshire puddings. It even comes with all the ingredients. That ain't doing much, is it? Dr. Bob said he's put a turkey on the spit in his barbecue this morning and set it on slow. Having a summer Thanksgiving. We ain't got a spit for our barbecue, have we?
Only when I'm upset.
I think the child has arisen from her bed.
She.
Only because when I went and got the water, the air fryer's trays out, so couldn't possibly put it back, two steps further and put it back in the machine.
No, that's not working with gesso. So they learn something every day. So let's get a colour, an aerosol colour, and do an aerosol colour. Let's have.
Shouldn't you have a mask on while you're spraying?
No, I've got the extraction going. What about sunshine yellow? That's dry. Let's go sunshine yellow over the top of that.
Jennifer, but it's like watching paint dry, lol.
It doesn't matter if it's a matte paint, Roy. I think the problem is it's not a solvent-based paint. I think it only reacts over solvent-based paints. I think that's the problem.
Terry's on.
Is he? Hello,
Yeah,
Terry.
right, Terry.
Hi, Stephen. How are you?
Ain't got that far. Give me a chance. I'm reading the comments. Wood dude's on.
Hello, Stephen. How are you? Right. So sunshine yellow.
Is it the sun shining way at yours, Terry? Keep saying it's going to rain here, but I haven't seen none yet. Stephen says he's very well.
Good man.
Oh, that blinking stinks. I don't know how you can bear being in there with that. Oh,
I've learned to breathe through my backside living with you, love.
that is awful. I'm going to be high the rest of the day.
Do well, man. Hi, Mike. How are you?
You know, as soon as I start cutting, what, Dances with the Aardvarks?
That's Mike.
Oh, Terry said it's lashing down there at the moment. Lots of showers.
It's on its way then.
Yeah, we are due rain. I didn't hang the washing out because I'm certainly ain't playing hokey cokey with it, that's for sure.
Cokey cokey.
So some's on the air and some will go in the dreaded T word. Try not to use it as much as possible, but it can't put bedding over an error. Oh. Oh.
I'm multitasking. I'm shaking a can and drawing at the same time. Multitasking.
That's the first, mate. Colin said, damn, is that glow in the dark paint? That looks ever so bright on the camera.
That does. Cameras don't do it no justice. Camera colours are absolutely awful. Unless you're spending thousands of pounds on cameras, cameras are absolutely rubbish. You're all there to make that yellow look right, and this area look this towel is near the right colour on the camera. But you're all right for that, but that'll be wrong for that. So
Copper Owl said radioactive.
yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to see you too, Roy. Woodwork Learner said, sorry, had a call. Why is Steve covering the black with green, then Dayglow yellow? I'm lost.
Well, I was gonna put ebonizer lacquer over the top of it, and I thought, no, let's go brave. Let's go yellow.
It didn't crack. What's Woodwork Learner's name? Yeah, it didn't crack. So, Roy said, are you dancing as well?
No.
No, you can't do 3 things, Roy. Just 2s, you know.
Just waiting for that to dry, really, because it's taking ages to dry.
So joys of having little children, Lucy.
Well, not the joys if you look at it, depending on how you look at it.
Well, no, she just said her area always gets knocked over in that house. I put mine in front of the patio window, so it's sort of a bit of best of both. Gets the sun if it's out,
And gets the draft if it's windy.
if Casey's wants the door open, the air will come through as well. It didn't open the door because it's forecast rain.
Oh, I just need to dry this off, see how long that'll take to dry. Still got the lady just spin it up. What do you reckon? I'll have fun, Stephen.
White gloss on wooden windows, nice.
That's the benefits of having PVC. I don't want to get this paint too hot because that'll just crack if I, or bubble, blister, should I say, get it too hot. So it's just a warm air blowing over it, no real heat.
Woodwork Learner said when I was small, the air was always in use as a tint. Robert said Nikki Steve is doing 3 things at once. He's breathing. Benjamin's got to go. He said catch you later.
See you later, Ben. Thanks for coming over, mate.
So's Doug Miller. He's got to go as well.
See you later, Doug. So ideally you'd leave this about an hour to dry. And then you can put your crackle effect over the top of it.
Used to have nail varnish like used to do that.
Sorry?
Used to have nail varnish that used to crackle. Lucy said Andy's just given me a completed bowl. 3 more to go.
Wish I'd have sprayed this Ebenezer lacquer now.
Might have been a bit quicker. Would that have dried quicker?
Yeah, I would have done. Ebenezer lacquer would have dried a lot quicker.
I need to have a look, see what. It does look really bright on the camera. Mind you, it looked very bright in there as well.
Yeah, not that luminous yellow though. But don't dry, I'll leave it and I'll turn it all off. Not drying, it's just not drying. Look.
If you try and, oh, you got to let it dry before you can turn it off.
What?
You got to let it dry before you can turn it off.
That's just not dry. Oh, it is drying.
Because if not, wouldn't it come off on your tools?
No, that'll just splatter everywhere. Oh, it is drying, it is drying, it is drying, it is drying.
Patience, my lovely, patience.
Yeah, I know. People don't come over to watch paint dry.
You see what Pete put?
What?
Lisa used to have nail varnish that crackled. If it accidentally got used in the workshop, Steve's fault. It was after his live I wanted to play. Greenhaven Creations, I'm off to sell my wares at the local classic car show. Thank you, Steve and Nikki. Take care. Thank you for coming over.
Thanks, having a good day. Right, so that's nearly dry. So what I'm going to do is, because we ain't got time the way around, I'm going to spray this over the top of it. And I want you guys to see how it crackles. It should crackle now because it's got a cellulose-based paint over the top. If it doesn't work, then I'll leave it to dry and I'll turn it all off. And then I'll do what I was going to do. And then we'll finish it off next Sunday anyway.
You know what you said about people didn't come over to watch paint dry?
Yeah.
Robert said, oh yes we did.
Right, so again, nice generous coats. Get the extraction on so it picks up all the crud. So like I said before, you want to try and do this in one coat. So we'll see what happens now. If it don't crackle now, it's never going to crackle.
Ryan said, keep going, Steve. I'm painting in the workshop the walls. Chris Dodd's part 2 should be fun.
Right, it's starting to go. You can just see it starting to go there. So if I bring it on close, hopefully you'll...
Richard Austin's on. Said I've
Richard?
been painting doors and I'm the only one who hates painting white doors. No, Steve
No.
hates painting full stop.
Yeah. So I don't know if you can see it just on that back edge starting to go. See it just starting to go there, starting to go here, there. So we'll see what happens. Well, the idea was to get the crackle effect done, get that dry and get the resin on top of it. But that may be a bit adventurous. That's still not going how it should go. Should be a lot more crazier than that.
Oh well, people learn from your mistakes.
Yep. That's what we're here for.
Exactly.
I know I've learned something. You don't put crackle paint over gesso.
Mm-hmm.
That don't work. No, that should definitely be more than that. Definitely.
And it can't be the crackle paint itself, no?
No. No. It's one of two things. I think it was, the first thing was obviously I tried to go over gesso. Then I've put the crackle paint underneath might not have been properly dry before I put the yellow over the top. And the yellow's not properly dry. The base colour should be dry really, touch dry. And it weren't.
Smells smells of fish.
No, darn, no. It's because you didn't have a shower this morning.
I did have a shower. That does smell. That's like when Casey cooks mackerel.
Right, so this is starting to go here. The few little spots are starting to go, but it's still not right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it, let it dry, and then I'm going to turn all that off, and then I will redo it. I'm going to redo it, and I'll let it dry in between coats. I will do it with my original black. Actually, I might do it with a nice vibrant colour, like pink or something. Spray it with a nice vibrant pinky colour, and then put the green over the top of it. So it's got some nice vibrant colour underneath it.
Chris said we've learned a lot from Steve. Just saying, learned a lot of what not to do. Right, Ruby's got a suggestion. So there is an easier way to create crackle paint with an acrylic paint. Paint with crackle medium, then paint with another acrylic paint.
Yeah. Yeah, you can use acrylics, but I want to use the aerosol one.
So Dancers of Aardvark says, was it real chalk gesso or an acrylic gesso?
It's an acrylic, I believe. Let's have a quick look on the tin. Acrylic medium, yeah, it's an acrylic gesso. Yeah, that's definitely not going to go. Yeah, that is the trouble, Andy. I did try to rush it. I wanted to get it so I was resining it today, so that could have all week to set. But I will leave that for an hour or so. If I leave it for an hour, that'll dry. I can turn it all off, do what I was going to do, and then get to a stage where I can pull the resin over it either later today or tomorrow morning. So yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. I should have known better, really. I should have just sprayed it with ebonizing lacquer and been done with it rather than paint it on with gesso. But we learn from our mistakes. That's how we learn. So let's just clean this mess up here. Get rid of these. Put that tool up there out of the way.
Yeah, it's not crackled very well, is it?
Nope.
A couple of places you can see, but
Yeah, you can see it's starting to go, but that's perhaps where that was dry, where it should be perfectly dry. But never mind. It happens. Right, so let's go back on there.
You can't do nothing with it now until it dries.
No, it's got to dry now. So we'll leave that to dry. And then we will, like I say, give it an hour or so. I'll turn it back. We'll turn it back, and then we'll do another. I'll repaint it. The trouble is, Peter, if I did a blue Peter piece for every single piece that I turn alive, I'd end up with even more stuff sitting around than what I do. So you can't do that. It's just not, well, there's not enough hours in the day. And the second thing is you can't end up with loads of stuff sitting around.
That's Richard. You said Pete.
No, Richard, I said.
Oh.
Nice.
Robert said some you win, some you lose.
Yeah, I'll get it right. I should have known better with the gesso, really. Shouldn't have been lazy. I should have just sprayed it with the ebonizer lacquer. But anyway.
But you wanted to try it, so and
Yeah.
at the end of the day, now people know not to use it if that's what they want to do.
Exactly. Don't use gesso under crackle paint. It don't work. So I will leave that to dry for an hour or so. Then I will turn it all off, resand and seal it, recolor it, and then I will put the crackle effect over the top of it. I'll take some pictures of it, get it on the social media, and then I'll put what I was going to put in it and resin it up, and then hopefully it'll be ready for next Sunday. Or I could leave it till next Sunday after I've crackled it and resin it and do it that way. We'll see. Right, so I think that's going to be it then. There's nothing else we can really do. We've just got to wait for that to dry now. I don't want to keep drying with a hairdryer because it's just going to end up causing yeah, it's just going to cause issues. So we just got to wait for it to dry now. Be patient, let it dry. So if there's no questions, quickly before we go.
Derek said, a man who's never made a mistake has never made anything.
This is very true. That's what life's all about. Learning from your mistakes.
Woodwork Learner said, you get more right than wrong. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Appreciate that.
Yeah, you don't live with him.
Nice,
Hey, babe.
was it? Not very nice. But these crackle paints are really good. They come in. Well, I've only got 6 different colours. So you've got blue, copper, black, squirrel grey, and patina green. So they come in some nice colours. I've done loads of pieces with the crackle, and they do turn out really, really well if you're patient and you let it dry. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to let it dry. Right. So
Hashtag week.
hashtag week. Yes, I will play the hashtag week at the end. Make sure you stay back and watch that. It will be live tonight at 6:30 on the YouTube. So thank you to each and every one of you guys who took part in the hashtag. Very much appreciated. And it's great to see your interpretation of wall art. Some really nice, really interesting pieces. Really, really is. So the next one will be on the 6th of next month. That will be launched. Or I will show you what the hashtag is, shall I say. And then we can do it all over again. So over that, guys, don't forget Terry on tonight. Or should be on tonight. Terry at Temporary Turn and Terry at Hecking Arts. He's got something interesting to do. Hopefully, if he hasn't changed his mind. And if I don't see you before, I'll see you then. So anyway, guys, have a good rest of your day. Thanks for coming over and joining us. Sorry it failed, but I will get it right. I will get it right. So have a great day. Other than that, speak to you soon. Take care and bye for now. Say bye, Nick.
Bye. Take care.
See ya. Bye.
That's all, folks.
Looking like a thunderstorm, oh, here we go,